what are your thoughts of ceramic bearings? Is ceramic bearings, as an engineer, does it make any difference? Sorry, Mike.
I can't tell, man, to be honest.
too late.
The material should be, I don't think so.
Welcome back to our video, guys. Today is the last episode here in Malaysia, and I'm with my friend On. We were cycling mates in Hulu Langat, and then since I moved to Singapore, then too bad everything just disappeared. And you have a new bike. I've never seen this before. You were riding the Ridley Helium just Ridley Helium?
Helium SLX.
Oh, Helium SLX.
2017. I think we bought about the same time during the Christmas deal.
I remember because I was driving home from work, and then you told me, hey, what's the name of the shop?
Two wheels.
Yeah, you told me, hey, two wheels only got promo 5,000.
I was going through the whole list of bikes that was on sale. Some up to 60 to 70%. It's not too bad.
Yeah. That's when I bought my
I think you bought first, then after that I was still thinking whether or not to go for it. Then decided finally, okay, let's go for it.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on my show, man. And no you problem, have your Cannondale. So over to you, and tell us about your bike.
So this is a Cannondale Supersix Evo Himod 2015. So I bought this frame first. So this is a relatively old model. So I was checking through Instagram this guy's website called Bike Stuff, and the guy that runs it is Dennis. So I was going through and I found this frame, size 56. So I put something within my size that I wanted. So I thought, hey, looks not too bad. 2015. You look at the colorway, also not too bad. I was thinking, and the price was also quite good. So I decided, okay, I'll go for it. So I bought the frame last year, June. So kept it for about 6 months, because at the time, as you know, all the Bike Stuff components was hard to get. So I waited quite a while. After that, when I managed to get the Groupset, which was Ultegra, I bought it. And then when I had everything ready, then I built it up. Finally. So the last part of the puzzle of the bike was the wheelset. As you know, everyone now in the industry, everyone is levitating towards this really. There's no more rim brake, so it was damn hard to get rim brakes anymore. So finally I got these rims through a very good friend of mine. So he sold it to me. This is the Swissside Hadron 485. So basically that's it lah. The build is quite simple and straightforward. I had to recycle some parts, as you know. Also had no time. So the seat was from my previous bike. It's a Merida saddle. Okay. The stem also was a Merida stem. It's a 10 cm. You're probably gonna ask me why I'm not slam. As you get older, slamming bikes is not a good idea. So okay, that's why I'm not slam.
Okay. Before we talk more about the bike, more about how long have you been cycling and what got you into cycling?
So how we started was a group of friends from high school, basically. So we were talking. At that point in time, we were all playing futsal. So as you play futsal, you get injuries. So a lot of the wives are making noise. So we had another close friend, Johan. You know him. He was telling us, hey, let's all go into cycling lah. So in 2017, if I remember correctly, somewhere in the middle of 2017, I was visiting Ron, another friend. He said, hey, let's all go cycling lah, and start cycling again. Because he also started cycling a few months prior to that. He borrowed a friend's bike and he got hooked into it. So he told me, hey, let's try it out lah. So okay lor. So all of us went out in search of bikes. All of us got aluminium frames.
When was this? Which year was this?
If I remember correctly, it was somewhere in August 2017. Okay, so our first trip to Hulu Langat was September, if I remember correctly. It was me and your cousin, Aaron. We went up Langat on aluminium frames, no experience, nothing, climbing up. So that's how we started lah. And until now, after aluminium, we decided, okay, we're gonna take this seriously. Let's all go carbon.
Yeah. So this is bike number?
Number.
Can see or not? Oh, can see lah.
But actually, you know, it's supposed to be a joint venture with another friend lah.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Anytime if anyone wants to, but I've grown to like this bike a lot. Seriously. The initial plan was, you know, build this up and see if I want to sell it. People want it, I can sell it. But It's nice, this bike.
Yeah, I know, because it's a 2015. This is the Sagan, when Sagan was riding this
I
team,
think,
right?
if I remember correctly, my memory serves me right, this is the last year that Sagan was riding this frame. If I'm not mistaken, 2015, 2016.
Yeah, and this frame is very traditional, because
It's
you see
very
the top
traditional,
tube
yes.
is very long and very high up, right?
Yes.
I don't know, are you a fan of this kind of geometry?
Initially, when we first started, I was. So the whole story about Cannondale, right? My brother studied in the States. So in 1995, he came back. Guess what bike he brought back? A Cannondale. But it was a mountain bike. That was the first time I saw a Cannondale brand.
Was it a lefty?
No, it wasn't. It was a very simple. The model was M2000, I'm not mistaken. If you Google it, it's just a very conventional, not even suspension on it. But it was damn nice bike. Full aluminium, and at that time, right, that bike, how they welded it was stick welded, and they sort of smoothed out all the weld joints. So at a glance, if you look at it, at today's time, you look at it, it looks like a carbon frame because it's so smooth, the weld. So that was the first time I actually saw a Cannondale brand.
This is a huge bike. It's a 56 centimeters.
56.
What's your height?
My height, I'm just slightly under 182 cm.
Okay.
So it's about there lah.
Right.
So if you notice, I actually can go for a 54, but they didn't have that size at that time. Because my concern was, this part, you want to have at least a good amount of seat,
Seat post height,
seat post height, so that you get a bit of flex and comfort. But yeah, it fits me well.
Okay. Any special upgrades you did to the bike, like a bottom bracket or anything that we can't see?
The bottom bracket. Okay, funny thing about, I should tell you all that this is a 2015, right? So Cannondale was, I think, one of the first bike manufacturers that came out with BB30, or maybe they were the one that invented BB30. Okay, but along the way, I think there was some problems with BB30, the creaking noise and all that. So they levitated away from BB30. So on the bottom part, right, you can see it's actually written BB30, but this one is a PF30.
What's the difference?
I think the width is a bit different, but the internal diameter is the same, I guess, because it's 30. One is BB30, one is PF30.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the bottom bracket. I think is from Taiwan one. I can't remember the brand. I bought it quite cheap, but it's ceramic. So
Tri-Peak? Is it Tri-Peak?
I don't know. I don't know.
But it works, it's smooth.
It works. It works. For now, it works.
Okay.
So far, no creaking, because it's relatively new.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Is this meant to be a climbing bike or a sprinting?
Initially, when I built it up, it was meant to be a climbing bike. Because I couldn't find rims for this, okay, I ended up with this relatively, I would say, deep profile rims. It still can climb lah. I mean, it's quite decent climbing. It's not too bad. On the flats also, when we were going last week, we were at the airport. If there's wind coming in, right, you can feel it's a bit twitchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is the weight of the bike?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest.
Below 8?
Could be.
Right.
You can
not
weigh
that
later.
heavy lah, just now.
Not too heavy lah. I mean,
yeah.
it's okay lah.
And
decent.
right, performance of the wheels, good, not good?
Okay, this is my first time riding carbon wheels. So I was giving feedbacks to the rest of the guys, saying that it's a bit twitchy when there's wind coming in. You can feel it when you're riding, so you have to pay attention to that. There's a lot of wind coming in. You have to really hold on tight. And,
How deep are these?
Okay, these are only brands. You notice it's a 485 written here. So it's 485 mm.
Oh, that's very funny.
It's a funny profile.
Right.
So only this brand comes up with this kind of depth,
right,
on their wheels.
And these are their own Swissside hubs.
Okay, the funny thing was, when I was reading a bit about this brand, Swissside, they actually, the owner, right, one of the founders, the co-founders, he's actually from F1 background. So he decided to come out and make his own brand on wheels, carbon wheels. So they developed it in wind tunnel. So they are considered quite specialists, and I think they had some joint ventures with dtswiss at that time. So if you look at the front hubs, it looks quite similar to dtswiss. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Even the back. So it could be they were, at the time when they started out this business, maybe they were using dtswiss hubs, maybe. But I heard now, I think they have their own hubs,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tires. These are Continental gator skin. I tried gator skin before because it is very robust.
Okay.
But the rolling sucks, man.
Really?
I found the rolling sucks. What's your opinion on that?
Okay, the reason why, if you notice, the front is gator skin and the back is GP 5000.
Maybe that's why you don't feel it.
The reason why I opted for this kind of different tires was because at the point of time it was hard to find tires, and I wanted Continentals for a few reasons. First, if you're going for old traditional frames, any brand, you always have to take into consideration that the clearance for the back tire is not that great. These frames were built for probably at that period was what, 23 mm, max maybe 25. So I did put a 25 mm tire size on these wheels, on this frame. It rocked when I climb or I put power down. So I decided, crap, I have to go for a smaller one. So this size at the back is 23 mm.
In front?
And front is 25.
Oh.
But when I measure the caliper, strangely, right, when you pump it up, on the back it's measured about 24.5. At the front, it's measured at just 25, slightly over 25 mm.
How high do you pump your tires?
For the back, I have to pump it up to about 110, 115 PSI.
Oh, that's quite high.
Have to, because as the tires become smaller, the pressure has to go higher.
And the front?
The front is about 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know, guys, I mean, I had a discussion on my comments, one of the videos. I said that I pump my tires very, very high. And they said,
you told us before.
And you guys were very shocked that I pumped, 120 PSI.
Yeah, because you're light.
Yeah, but because I like it, I like the feeling of, feeling the road and the bumps. But because,
Right.
and then I said that the rolling was better, but some guys commented scientifically that because you feel that you're going fast because you can feel the bumps, but actually in actual fact that you're not going fast, you're losing watts because you're bumping around the...
Yeah, but as you know, Malaysian roads is not that great. So if you have very high pressure, right, as you're going over bumps, you feel like
Yeah.
you know, the vibration is just horrible.
You're still on clinchers?
Clinches.
No tubeless?
Tubeless, no, not at the moment.
So you believe in tubeless or...?
I've had friends that use tubeless. Results for them, they're saying that it's superb. When you get like a small little cut, it seals it up. Okay. It seals it up quite well. But then, no, at the point of time, I'll just stick to just the conventional clinches with inner tubes. Yeah.
How puncture resistant are the
I don't know,
gator
because
skin?
these wheels are relatively new. I've used them for about 2 months, just like over 2 months, and I've probably 4 or 5 rides on it. So can't tell you much, but they look nice. I mean, look at the sidewall. It's different from the GP 5000s.
Yeah. Maybe you'll feel the rolling resistance once you put this on the back.
Maybe. I feel a difference, okay, because the front is 25, is 23, right? If I'm going up a bit of a slope out from the saddle, right, and I put power down, and if the ground is a bit wet, I can feel there's wheel spin.
Yeah. Speaking of it being wet and on rim, how is it like? Because we know
It's horrible, man.
always hulu langat,
I
right?
notice compare carbon wheels and alloy lah. Okay, braking, of course, there's a difference. Hell of a difference. This one you have to modulate a bit more, because if you're descending quite steep roads, you have to modulate carbon. If not, they overheat and it can be problematic.
Have you tried a disc frame before?
No, not yet.
Okay. I think that will solve your problem lah.
For sure.
Yeah,
Eventually, if we move towards that, I mean the whole industry in bike now, for road bikes, I think everyone is going towards this already.
Yeah. Can't escape from it lah.
You can't escape from it. Can't escape. As I was telling you earlier, if you go to a bike shop now, if you're looking for rim brake wheels, very limited.
Yeah.
Very
You know Durian Rider, right?
Yeah.
He follows me. He subscribed, man.
Oh, really?
To my channel. So I don't know if he's gonna watch this, but
Awesome, man.
But
I know he's an advocate of rim brakes.
So one of the videos I did, his Pragma bikes. The guy said that I think he was one of the last guys who bought his frames, because now everyone is coming out with disc. I think he couldn't get it in disc, so that's why he stopped production, or he stopped selling his bike.
Okay.
So that's why I mean, like you say, he's an advocate of rim brakes, right?
Yeah.
Rim brakes. Do you think rim brakes are dead forever, or do you think you'll make a
I
comeback?
don't think so. If you look at the older riders, they are always just sticking to rim brakes because it does its job.
Yeah, I think even the Ineos Grenadiers, they were, I think one of the few teams riding on rim, and everyone was on disc. And then now they had to make the conversion to disc.
I think last year they were still on rim. Only this year only they decided to move everything to disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as you know, if all the other pelotons are on disc, then if you have a flat, it's easier to change your wheels also.
Why? Really? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
because everyone's disc ma. You can borrow any wheels from anyone.
Okay.
Right?
And from the neutral car or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
from the neutral car. If let's say if so happen you are the only team with rim brakes, then you have to wait for your own team car to come to change the tire.
Yeah, and because your frame is still very traditional, cabling outside. What do you think of the newer frames which are internally cabled, one-piece cockpit? Do you like it? No? Yes?
From what I've read lah, even for my other bike, right, the gear cables are internal. Okay, once in a while, if it stretches, you do hear a bit of the cables hitting the frame internally. I think adjustability, if you're talking about all these internal routing cables, if you want to adjust or change a bit of stuff, it's a bit difficult.
So overall performance of the frame and the bike as a whole, how would you?
Superb.
Really?
Surprisingly superb. So we were riding in Hulangat a few months back, before the flood. Before our rendezvous point, I was racing with a few of the guys. This bike is superb.
Okay.
I can tell you.
Anything
to my surprise.
Right.
Superb.
What do you not like about the bike? There must be something.
I'm trying to figure out what not to like. Okay, the clearance, first of all. Like I said, if you guys like older bikes, just pay attention. The clearance for the back tire is not great. So you have to probably end up with 23 or something smaller. Yeah, if you go with 25, it's going to be brake rubs for sure.
Okay, anything else or that's the only issue?
I guess that is about it, about this bike.
Okay.
I really like this bike, to be honest.
What will be the next upgrade on this bike?
I guess the saddle. The saddle, the stem, I probably want to go for a slightly longer stem.
Too short for you?
It's a 10 cm. I mean, it's okay lah. It's okay. I can go for a slightly longer one. But comfort-wise, for longer rides, right, this bike is very good.
Okay.
Because as you know, I have not slammed it. It's quite upright.
Yeah.
So yeah, I quite enjoy it for long rides.
What is your dream bike? Or is this the dream? If you have unlimited money, what is the dream setup?
Why, if I have unlimited money, I'll buy every single brand out there.
Okay, only one.
Then you see all the bikes there.
Only one bike for the rest of your life.
One bike, wow, it's a bit difficult to say, man.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of beautiful bikes out there, as you know, Pinarello. I mean, even the Conagos look good. I'm not into boutique brands, but the mainstream ones, if you ask me, it would probably be Conago.
Conago, which one? 64?
The C series. The C series.
The
now
luck
the C, yeah, the luck one, the C64. Yeah.
Johan has one, right?
Yeah, he recently bought as on route. I think it's going to arrive maybe this month and it's going to build up.
Okay. Which is the bike that you don't like that's currently in the market? Which one do you think is the ugliest one? I'm talking about mainstream ones.
Oh, the ugliest one. The ugliest one. Actually, Bianchi, right? The ones that Pantani rode were very nice. But the Ultegra, I don't quite like it.
Why?
I mean, it looks good, but I think it's because of the limited color scheme. They only have like two colors only.
The Celeste.
The Celeste and the black.
Yeah.
And I don't know, recently they expanded their color range.
I think there's white as well.
I think there's white, yeah, it's white. But it's quite limited. I mean, if you want to buy a bike, you should have at least, some colors that you can choose from.
I guess they are trying to limit the colors because most probably people only buy the Celeste color.
Yeah,
for
Celeste.
Bianchi.
So it's synonymous. You see Celeste, it's a Bianchi.
Yeah.
Really,
Okay. Shit, I think I lost the questions. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to wing it. I'm going to wing it, okay?
This is the first one.
I'm so sorry, man. Instagram Q&A, if you guys want to ask your questions, you can follow me on Instagram. I have a confession to make. I didn't save the Instagram question, so I apologize to everybody who submitted the questions. I got mixed up, man. Just way too many things going on. So, let me ask. I'm going to wing it, like I say, I'm going to wing it.
No
So I
problem,
will
man.
ask questions that people generally like to ask. The first one people like to ask is why Shimano, not SRAM?
SRAM, I actually was considering SRAM, but because one of our friends in Singapore was using SRAM and he was telling me the problematic part about SRAM is their shifters. You have to service them ever so often. I think when sweat gets in or water gets in, right, it doesn't shift very well. So you have to service it. So when he told me that, I said, okay, I don't want any problematic, components. So I just decided, just go with Shimano only
Okay.
at the time.
Why not Di2?
Okay, good question. I would have gone Di2 on this bike. However, this frame is not Di2 compatible.
Oh, at that time.
At that time, they
What-
actually, I think they have two models. One is the mechanical and one is Di2. So the Di2 difference is, as you know, there's supposed to be a hole here for the cable and internal routing for the back part where you connect the cables. That's about it. As you can see, the mechanical is all external.
Okay.
That's on the downside.
Why Cannondale over any other mainstream brand?
I've always loved Cannondale. Like
Why?
I said, I don't know. It's just the brand, the shape, and the color. I mean, look at this color. It's damn nice. I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
The next question, why not the slam stem?
Too old. Tomorrow I'm turning 42. Oh, uncle already.
Happy birthday in advance then.
Thanks, man.
Okay, what's the next question people like to ask? Let me get some inspiration.
You get from the previous videos.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I can ask you this question because I got a bit of hate for asking two personal questions.
Okay. It's no problem.
You tell me if I cannot ask, okay?
Okay.
What do you do for a living, lah?
Huh?
What do you do for a living?
I'm an engineer, man. From profession. I don't make much, but it gets me around getting this bike.
Okay, so as an engineer, right, what do you think of the engineering of this bike? Will you be able to comment?
I think it's not too bad, except for the clearance. As I said, people have never, take into consideration that the trend now is to go with larger volume tires, and never thought about making the clearance for the chainstay to be a bit bigger to accommodate for larger tires. I think that's about it.
That's the main
That's
issue.
the downside about this frame is. So if
Yeah.
I ever want to go for bigger tire, bigger volume, you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've just thought of some questions in my head. What are your thoughts of this wind space? Because in Singapore, it's a very, very popular wheelset because it's carbon and it's pretty affordable. Will you get one? And what's your
I
opinion?
think
on
they've
that?
been getting a lot of traction around the world from YouTube. I think a lot of people have been using them. From what I've been reading and seeing, I think they're not too bad. I don't mind actually getting a wind space. But only problem I heard was the hubs. Maybe you need to service the
Yeah,
hubs,
you
and
agree.
also there's some noise coming from the carbon spokes because it's rubbing or something.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I don't know they've fixed that problem or not. That's what I've read so far.
Is this wheelset high in maintenance and is it stable?
So far, maintenance-wise, I think should be quite straightforward as I said, this one, if it is wind coming towards you, it's very twitchy. And another thing, if you put power down, I notice it does flex a bit on the back. Yeah, it does. I do feel it.
Stiffness of the frame, stiff or not
Oh,
stiff?
very stiff, but very comfortable also.
Actually,
surprisingly.
I don't understand this question because when people say, is stiff or not stiff, how do you tell whether it's stiff?
Like for the other bike that I have, right, you can feel it if you're riding long rides. You get very tired, because you feel every single vibration from the road, every single bump, you feel it. This one, you don't get that tired.
Have you tried any other tires or would you still stick to Continental? Have you tried like
I've
Victoria?
tried the Mavics because I had a Mavic wheel set. Okay, not too bad. I've always been using the Conti. I'm using actually Victoria on the other one. Victoria is actually quite good. Not too bad.
I've never tried Victoria. I've been, which I've mentioned in other videos, I'm just stuck to GP, man.
And another note, I was just reading just the other day. I don't know if it's true or not. They're saying the 10-ball tires, which Victoria makes, right? Apparently they are lighter than the black ones. So I don't know how true is that.
Actually, now Continental came out with the new one, which is the cream wall. It's white. I have that.
I think it's lighter color, right?
I don't know. I think it's just a painted thing, lah. It's just a
I
color.
think everyone has been complaining. I mean, the guy that sold me also, the only downside is it gets dirty, if you clean it. I mean, for people like me, I have no time to clean the bike, right? So I just leave it as it is. It doesn't get dirty.
Sorry, like the rain is getting extremely heavy. Okay, it's almost 30 minutes, so I think we can ask one more last question. What are your thoughts of ceramic bearings. Is ceramic bearings, as an engineer, does it make any difference? Sorry, Mike.
I can't tell, man. To be honest, ceramic. Ceramic. I think if you're just a leisure rider, I think ceramic doesn't matter lah, with normal bearings. But if you are racing, probably it does. Every single watt counts.
Yeah.
But if you have the money for it, why not, man? Ceramic.
Oversized pulley, yes, no?
Yeah, I know you're gonna ask me that. No, man.
No?
No, man. Oversized. I think it's a gimmick lah, that one, and makes you look like a bit like a cock, man.
No, but do you agree that it looks good or no?
Aesthetic wise, it does look good lah, but no lah.
No.
Probably not lah. I've seen a lot of people with high-end bikes with the oversized pulley, and then they ride damn slow. I mean, ride damn slow and then overweight riding. I say, why are you putting that? I think they probably got, you know.
I think someone did mention to me on my channel or my interview that it's a form of jewelry.
Yes, it
like
is.
you got extra money, well,
Why not?
put it there.
Just bling it lah.
Yeah, I think there's a new. You know the one about what's the one with the hollow jockey wheel?
What black ink? What?
Absolute black.
Absolute black. Right?
Yeah. So actually, I was browsing through Instagram this morning. There's one company called Morph.
Okay.
That does oversized pulley, and I think they kind of imitated the way how Absolute Black. So they also have a hollow jockey wheel, which looks cool lah.
It looks
damn
cool lah. I mean, if you can afford it, why not? You know, just to bling up your bike.
Yeah, but it's too small lah. I don't think anyone noticed it, right?
Yeah, I think people will notice it. It's oversized. I won't go for that. For sure, I will never do that.
Yeah. Any last things that you want to talk about before we close? Cause it's boring. I'm getting drenched.
No lah, I think the bike overall is good enough. I mean, yeah, it's a very simple bike. I like it a lot.
Awesome. The next time I come back to Malaysia, we'll do your other bike. I don't know, maybe you'll get another bike by then. And that wraps up the video. Hey, thanks for coming, man.
Thanks, man, for having me.
Yeah, we'll film your bike and then we end this. So this is the last episode of me here in Malaysia. I'm going back tomorrow, back to Singapore. So watch my videos lah.
I watch all your videos, man, and I'm subscribed.
Thanks. We've got very cool bikes coming out in Singapore. So you guys want to feature your bike, DM me on Instagram. And thanks for watching and bye-bye.